everybody. This is Marley K. I want to talk about the Kyrie Irving trade and how important that is, what signal it sends to African American people and Black people across the diaspora who have been fighting against the dominant society for some time and have been uncompromising and unwavering in their um, opposition to what it is that they were trying to do. And so, if you haven't been keeping up with the Kyrie Irving situation, he was vilified for not taking the lollipop. And then after that, he was vilified for sharing a link to a video um, that I will not say to avoid being censored. But there's been a particular community or several communities, but in particular two communities that have been really targeting him and hard. And not just him, but Black men in general. If you speak your mind, if you're unafraid of the dominant society, if you're uncompromising, if you try to walk as a Black person with integrity, if you try to speak the truth, you have been silenced or deplatformed. And all of the above, has happened to Kyrie Irving. And I'm so proud of him as a young Black man in America, who's rich and who could have just chosen to throw people under the bus, do whatever he was told to do to keep his check coming, and not care about the bigger picture. And again, I'm not saying that he's a role model or somebody for us to aspire to be, but it feels good to see Black men that are not grassroots being uncompromising and not wavering. And although the trade wasn't necessarily a reward, but it's kind of like a slap in the face to the dominant society, especially those people who control the stuff that they don't want you to know they control. And those who have deep-seated anti-Blackness, anti-African American, anti-Black man energy all the time for us. I love the fact that Kyrie Irving was uncompromising, unwilling to let the powers that be write his narrative, and he talks about that in this video right here that I'm going to play. So I'm going to play it for you, that you hear him, his own words.
Super excited, grateful for the opportunity. Really feel wanted, and I know that they had to give up some pieces for me to get here, so I don't take that for granted. Shout out to Mr. Cuban, shout out to the whole entire front office for the Dallas organization. I've been here for about 48 hours or a little bit more than that, and it's been nothing but a warm embrace and nothing but genuine love. So I'm just taking it 1 minute at a time and just focus on what I can control, which is how I prepare, and just coming in every single day and being consistent. I'm gonna use this opportunity to just talk about the business that we're in. It's as a player, it's very emotional because you build lifelong relationships and you want to hold on to them. And it's a brotherhood, it's a sisterhood. We all love each other in unconditional ways when we want to see each other do well. So, the reporting and the journalism that was going to come out of why I left, I knew that was going to be speculation. But for me personally, just sitting in the seat today, I just know I want to be places where I'm celebrated and not just tolerated or just, kind of dealt with in a way that doesn't make me feel respected.
I want to speak to this in particular because I have, as a Black person with a degree in choosing to work in a field where it's dominated by white people above me, and even in the field with me, my colleagues mostly feel as though I'm not their equal. And depending on the situation, they'll let you know under no uncertain terms that you're not equal to them. Or they will have discussions about us as if I'm not sitting at the table. And I will have to interject and be like, hey, I'm here. No, this is not how you're going to have a conversation about us when I'm here. You're not us. And I don't care what your research has shown. You're not me. So I can provide a totally different perspective than your research or what you think you gleaned about us. Um, Irvin is saying that I'm a professional. I work in a field, but I didn't feel respected. I felt as though I wasn't treated as a human being. Any black person in America working any place amongst people who don't look like us can identify with that. And so for him to say that was a breath of fresh air, but it's not anything that people don't already know. But when you're uncompromising and you live with integrity and you walk with a purpose and you see the bigger picture and you're not afraid to speak the truth, it just hits differently.
And there were times throughout this process when I was in Brooklyn where I felt very disrespected, and my talent. I work extremely hard at what I do. No one ever talks about my work ethic, though. Everyone talks about what I'm doing off the floor. So,
And this is something else. I'm sorry, I didn't say fair use, fair use, fair use, fair use. Because I don't want to be hit with any death challenges on the channel. But I feel the same way. When it comes to my work, people have an issue with the fact that I bring about, I talk about things that people don't want to talk about, that are uncomfortable, and they don't make you feel good. But people often will go back to, nitpicking your arguments so that they don't have to deal with the truth, the substance. And so, the point that he made here, where they don't talk about your performance on the court. It's like what I do at work, I do my job well, but you want to talk about my behavior off the court. Do I do my job well? Do I help you win? Do I make you money? Do I score a lot of points? I do those things. That's what I get paid to do. My off the court behavior, performance, views, stances, positions don't have anything to do with this job. I do my job, but you want to talk about what I do when I'm not at work and make that an issue and drag me through the media and tarnish or sully my name. But you really don't have the right to do that because I do my job. And that is what I appreciate about, Kyrie Irving's statement.
I just want to change that narrative, write my own story, and just continue to prepare in the gym. And now that I'm in Dallas, just focus on what I can control, like I said. And, I'm always going to be close with those guys in Brooklyn, just like I'm close with the guys in Boston, just like I'm close to the guys in Cleveland. It is a team competitive sport, but we care about each other's families way more off the court. So I know those relationships will extend off. I'm just focused on preparing to win.
And to close, you see the peace that he finally has. I don't know if you understand about why it's significant that he left Brooklyn. Brooklyn is the home, the haven, the control center, pretty much for the them folk population in America. The borough, the city, the state, they run it. And so as long as Kyrie Irving was there, he was not going to have any peace because that community, that anti-Black community, they were not going to allow him to have any peace. They were going to force the hand of the owner and people who worked in administration who belonged to that group to make sure he was never comfortable, he never had any peace, he wasn't safe, and that he would be miserable as long as he was there. So the trade is good for him to get him out of that hostile anti-black environment, hostile, you know, energy that lingered and has lingered since the whole lollipop debate went on about almost 2 years ago. And he's been a target. He's a target for a variety of reasons. He's a target, one, because he is seen as somebody that is influential to us. And as long as we are controlled by the dominant society, they want to be the ones to tell us what to do and watch us walk like sheep to our slaughter. But if there's anything that looks equivalent to a black messiah, it must be stopped. It must be silenced. If there's anything that resembles the truth about who they are, them folks are, it must be stopped. It must be silenced. It must be um, terminated. It must be vilified in order to take away its power. We must take away its authority and what it and how it speaks. We must make it look like it is compromising. We must make it look like it is weak. And they love doing this to black men. So I'm happy for Kyrie Irving that he's gone. I'm proud of him for not compromising. I'm proud of him for standing in integrity, for being articulate enough to speak clearly the truth, to show other young black people how to do it, how to stand up to this system. Because, the days of running out and going into the street and fighting and being angry, like those days are over. That fight was good when we could fight that way. But when we live in the era of technology and news, and where anybody can craft anything and vilify you and make you an enemy of the state, you got to fight differently. And when you speak, know that every time you speak, it is an opportunity to clear your name, to show the world who you are, and counter whatever narrative that they've crafted to label you with. And so I applaud Kyrie Irving. Shout out to the Dallas Mavericks, even though I don't care one iota about sports. But even, the media was trying to make out that nobody would want Irving. The fact that other teams were interested in him and willing to take him despite his views on the lollipop and his vilification in the media. Like, they understand. It's at the end of the day, it's about business and making money and winning. People want to win. All that other sideshow stuff is nobody cares about. And so I'm glad for Kyrie Irving to have made it out of Brooklyn. I'm glad he's getting a fresh start. Hopefully he'll be treated with respect and with integrity, the way that our men should be treated. And hopefully young people and old people alike understand that you're going to have to take some L's in the future and be uncompromising in order to get something done in this system. Because the one thing that they know is that black people care about not losing their stuff. We got to show them that we're not afraid to lose stuff in order to win big time. So with that said, I'm out. Please like the video, share it, subscribe to the channel. Leave me your comments below about, how you feel about this black man being uncompromising and walking with integrity, not just for himself, but for the community, and how he was vilified. Like, you don't necessarily have to agree with my views, but please keep it respectful in the comment section. Thank you all for listening, and just understand that these are going to be some difficult times, and we all are going to have to make some difficult decisions. This is a dress rehearsal for what's coming. So being uncompromising is going to come with cost. you're going to have to ask yourselves, are you willing to pay the cost? With that said, it's Marta K, and I'm out.